Now we can actually check out some of the methods for working with strings. What are methods? Well, this is a method, right? A method is a piece of code that does something, right? This is a method as well. It prints something. This tries to convert something. I don't know. This method is the main method, so it's the one being run and so on. So we'll now discuss some other methods. First of all, let's see what happens if I put a letter here. What do you guys think will happen if I run this program again? Remember, we're trying to convert this piece of text for Java. Java doesn't know what this piece of text contains. So it'll try to convert it as if it's a real number. But if it's not, we just added a letter U. It's not allowed. Of course, we can add, I don't even know, a star, whatever. Just adding a single non-alphanumeric character, right? That's not a full stop. We can even add a full stop, but we have two of them, This is, again, not a number, right? So what happens now if I run the program? Can you guys try to write in chat? Can you guess? Yes, we will get an error, but let's do that. Let's finally get an error, as getting errors is, essential to the programming process, right? We got an error, and let's learn first of all what does this mean. Second of all, let's learn how to read it and make use of it, right? First of all, you can see that exit code is no longer 0. You remember when exit code used to be 0, that those were the good times when everything worked, right? When exit code is something other than 0, something went wrong, right? Here, they even put it in red text. Something crashed. We got an exception, basically in thread main, whatever the thread word means, not important right now. What's the name of the exception? It's number format exception. You can click on it. It's a class, right? It's a class that has some, some text there. Okay, thank you. Number format exception, multiple points. We got the method at this place. So somebody called parse double, and who's that somebody? Well, main.main called that. So main.main called parse double, which then crashed, right? And as we have more errors, there will be more callers here. There will be like 3 or 4 levels. For example, I don't know, there's a method called fetch employee, and fetch employee fetches all the data about the employee, but then, I don't know, date formatter formats the date, for example, and then, I don't know, some special part of date formatter takes care of leap years. So you would see like 3 or 4 methods here in this called a stack trace. And we will learn how to use these stack traces to debug and see what's wrong. Here it's quite easy, right? You just click on the blue stuff. I mean, blue stuff is your stuff, gray stuff is not your stuff. Certainly the error did appear here on line 735 of double, but it was probably meant to happen, right? As it says, I can actually throw an exception. This means this method, the way this is potentially going to throw this exception if something is wrong, which is good. It's actually informing us that we're misusing it. We're trying to do something that's not supposed to be done. We're trying to convert this into a number. So it's actually giving us something here saying, hey, there's an error, you must address this somehow. We will not address this at this point because we don't know how. There's a thing called try catch and so on. We can try to do some code that's potentially dangerous and then catch all the errors. This is what we're going to do. But then again, I'm getting ahead of myself. I just wanted to show you guys how does it look when you get an error. For now, to avoid this error, just avoid passing numbers that are not supposed to be converted, and that's the only way we can solve it now, right? As it's going to crash when you pass in a number, when you pass in an input that's not a proper number, right? And of course, we will learn how to address these problems a little bit later. But now let's see what these strings, what useful methods can we use for strings. So let's declare some strings. I'm keeping this code here on purpose because I just want to send you something after class. I mean, we don't necessarily need any of this for the next thing, but whatever, I'll just wrap it so it's easier for you to view. Okay. And then later I'll unwrap everything and uncomment it. Okay. String name equals Milan. And now we want to see and print out your name is how long? Well, you just type the variable name and you type a little dot, and there's a million methods here that are given to you. What are all of these methods? These are all methods of the string class, right? Look here, there's like a million of them, and you can use most of them. We will actually learn a bunch of these methods. To uppercase, what does to uppercase do? Well, you can only assume, you're smart people, you can only assume what will this do. You'll just put everything to uppercase. So, there's just a bunch of these utility methods that are built in, uppercase to lowercase. Well, what could length do? Your name is, and let's see, your name is 5. Not really the best message, you know, but let's say your name is, and add plus, characters long. Let's say this is a much better message now, you know. So we are just using the length method to see the length of a given string, right? And let me quickly answer the question. Omar says, how did you wrap the comments? These are 2 shortcuts. First of all, I select everything that I want by holding holding shift. Control does nothing here. Holding shift, and you can select text. That also works in any text editor ever. You can hold shift, and when you hold shift, it will select basically. Let me show you here in this. This is going to be for you guys. So you can select text from your cursor up to your next click. So holding shift, very useful. Also works with arrows. I can hold shift and go up and down, and it'll select one line at a time. Very useful. And again, text editing. If you get nothing out of this course, at least learn some, you know, computer usage shortcuts. if you find out that Java is not for you, but it's not going to be the case. Java is really easy. So I wrap everything control comment, and comment being my forward slash or this thingy. So control comment and then control dot to make everything a little dot. I don't know. That's how I memorize it. You know, it's still there, but it's wrapped. You can see line 5 then goes 16. You know, it's there, but it's wrapped, and it's really helping me with, you know, the visibility here. Whatever. There's so many useful shortcuts. I can't even. Don't get me started. I'll make another 10 digressions, and we'll not learn what we're supposed to learn today. Okay. So finally, let's explore some of these methods. Length, lowercase, uppercase. Of course, we're not going to run lowercase. We can trust that it will work. We've already seen uppercase. So what else? Well, explore, you know, name, dot, and let's read them. Equals, well, that's going to probably compare this to something else. Split, well, that's probably going to, what? Split a string, right? And another great example that I love to give my students is how do you split a string in PHP? Like PHP string split. This is what a normal person would Google for, right? And it's called explode, you know? So again, this is just a digression to show you guys how easy it is to find things in other languages. You know, in Java, there's something called split, right? You want to split a string by a space. For example, you want to get a bunch of words, right? We will actually be doing this in a couple of classes. So you want to use split, right? In PHP, it's explode. In Python, let's see. I think Python is also called literally split. Yeah, it's a lowercase s split, right? In C#, it's uppercase s split, and so on. So basically, all the languages look alike, except PHP with that explode. You know, but the point being here is you can easily, after learning the basics of one language, you can easily teach yourself another language. Maybe watch some tutorials and teach yourself literally another language by just, you know, practicing some and Googling a little bit.